All right. Call the meeting to order. The meeting will be recorded. Public comment. Seeing none. Unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished?
Nope.
New business.
Oh, we got the IGA for talk groups, intergovernmental.
Now, Kevin Corson could not make it today, but he said you would be able to update everybody on what that agreement is
I'll
for.
try to check that. Is that the one with the state?
Yeah, looks like it.
State, Pennsylvania State Police, who are responsible for the radio network, have sent out
I
an
see.
agreement for the counties for the StarNet system.
Yep. And we have to comply with all of their requirements as we use it.
Yeah.
Okay, I see that now.
And on Wednesday, there will be an agreement to ratify the agreement.
Yeah, I think he's included some of the pieces of the regulations as part of that we have in front of us.
And I believe the Transit Authority is now on that StarNet system as well. And they absolutely love it. They're talking, I think, Wendy said there was a bus in Erie, and they could talk back to one.
Very good.
So that is on the agenda.
Okay.
Resolution 3265, supporting the discovery for location and cost for a regional emergency management center, along with the MOU.
And a resolution.
The resolution,
So this is just for grant funding?
yes it is. At one point, we had a discussion with, this is, I believe, a Appalachian Regional Grant
Commission, I see.
Commission, yes.
But did we budget that $50,000?
No, this is just, what we're doing is we're sending in a letter of interest.
I see.
Yeah. It's
But if
authorized
we
in
did
the
get
subject-
funded,
Then we would have to.
we would have to pay $50,000.
What my understanding is that they will give the county a grant for the 50,000,
Right?
so we could look for the thing that they're interested in is having classrooms, making it a regional training for EMS, fire, police. You could also have all of your governmental, your COG meetings and whatnot there. But that is, the main focus is they're very interested in the classroom for training.
I'm just concerned about agreeing to spend $50,000 for something this structure. So that's just my concern. If this is the case, is it going to be located in Warren County? Because it
Yes.
says the cost to discover the location.
Yes, and one of the things that I had mentioned to the CEO of the Rouse, that if they were interested in having it next to the curb.
Is this for a 911 center?
911 EOC training.
Because we haven't really even looked at the 911 center review of the recommendations, which we probably should do.
Right, that's the one that you sent to me.
Yeah.
I did look at that, and all of them are going to have substantial costs. This was just another opportunity to get the grant, to get a grant for that.
When is the grant due, do you know? Because like Dan says, anytime you get a grant from some of these things, you have to agree to the match.
Yeah, or let them know where it's coming from, if it's promised but not yet.
Which is what this is agreeing to if we pass this resolution, is we're agreeing to award $50,000 if we get the ARP money, $50,000. Just something to think about, I guess. I don't know when it's due. I know we had that evaluation of 911, and this is kind of more expansive. I understand that. But we haven't even reviewed the 911 recommendations. So I guess I'd like to learn a little bit more about before we commit to that $50,000.
Is it reasonable to see if we could get a hold of Ken on the phone
Yeah, I just was curious about,
and see if we could get some answers?
well, why don't we ask him when the grant's due? I mean, what do you guys, are you agreeable with $50,000? That's something we need to think about, I guess, as we march into the Wednesday's meeting, so.
Sometimes these projects are multi-year, so you don't have
Sure.
to have the match
Not
amount.
money, right.
Right, all of it right away.
That's a good question, when would we need the match? That's a good question.
I guess my point is, either way, regardless of what direction we decide to go, review the study, it's going to be expensive. I think anywhere from 1.2 upward. So the question is, do we want to invest money in the current facility, which is an older building? We've already bought 3 furnaces this year for that building. I just think it's something.
That's my
something to
point.
consider.
We just need to decide a direction that we're gonna go, because if this is the way we're gonna go, I don't know what will be, I mean, I understand it's only $50,000, but it's still $50,000.
Oh, it's still a lot of money, absolutely.
Yeah, at this juncture and where we are in our budget and taxes and reassessment, that's
Well-
just kind of curious, that's all. But yeah, it's a good question, when will we need the match?
In reviewing the study, the 3 locations that they had looked at, there were issues. So I felt that maybe possibly we should put this on the table. We may not go that direction.
Right.
Well, they're also asking about the local commitment. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the county.
That's
So
true.
local could be other stakeholders and agencies that are a part of the project. That's why I
Well,
thought,
that's a good question. So maybe we just want to understand a little bit more about when this is due, the round of funding, and then when we would have to actually fund it, and also to see if somebody else would be interested in helping us fund that.
I believe Kim is planning on being at the meeting on Wednesday,
Okay, okay.
and then we can always table it.
Yeah, okay, sounds good.
Table,
Just, we're gonna talk about it on Wednesday. That sounds like a good idea.
And then,
So we'll get a little bit more detail.
yeah, it'll be on the agenda for Wednesday, and then we can always table it if there's still questions.
Okay.
Resolution 3266 for the DCED COVID-19 ARPA Community Multi-Purpose Grants.
now that one I'm seeing 50,000.
Is that the one that is?
Yeah, isn't it?
No,
No, that's-
this is 3266.
Where are you at? Because the resolution 3265.
In front.
It's
Oh,
in front.
okay, okay, all right, because I'm seeing
We're a
this
little
ahead of
backwards.
it.
We're a little backwards,
All right, okay.
yeah. And this is the grant that Kim's looking for.
To put the building,
Public Wi-Fi.
the public Wi-Fi,
Right.
and there is no match on that.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
$2 million project with no match required. Dan, I have a question for you. Just to back up on 3265. That would carry a match, but Forest County, because they're a distressed area, and because the county does their dispatching, does that?
They can sometimes adjust the match requirement. I've seen them do that. This is a federal program through the ARC, so it's going to be a decision that they would make based
Okay.
on, their analysis of the economies of the applying counties. But yeah, I don't know. Everything in here seems to indicate 50%.
Right.
Of the match. Yeah, I don't know, Ken. It'd be the Fed's decision.
Well, the other question that I have is that the county were to locate, say it came to fruition, and the county were to construct a facility, who would actually own that? I mean, it's on Rouse property. Do we then become a tenant of the Rouse like we are now?
Well, if we construct it, we own it. We own the asset.
It could
So
be
there
we
would-
own the building, but not the land that it
That's
sits
correct.
on.
Okay,
That's correct.
that was a concern.
You could have a ground lease
Yeah.
for 99 years.
Yep.
They could sell you the property, they could lease you the property.
Okay.
All right, then we have the Commissioners' Public Meeting.
So we're at projects.
Projects.
Other
Yeah, I don't have any new projects from my perspective. Do you have any?
I'm not quite,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, the whole broadband, we're, gonna
Mhm.
take a look at that again. That's the only one that's come under my,
And the issue still continues to be the prevailing wage.
I don't know, I think we'll learn more
Yeah,
on the
that's-
18th of April when we have that presentation with the
Region.
Northwest Commission, yeah. So. Anything coming out of the Northwest Commission that, you sit on the executive committee?
Well, the big topic is the broadband.
Yeah.
This is the long-range transportation plan that we're required to put together is adopted now, and that carries us out for the next 20 to 30 years. I think that was done on a 25-year increment that we have to review every 5 years.
Oh, goodness.
But that's where our local projects start. You've got to have them identified in the long-range transportation plan, which is then vetted by the state and approved by the state before we can approve it regionally. But then we can move those projects then to the TIP, the Transportation Improvement Plan, where we can then begin to apply the available funding and planning and begin to move projects forward. But they've got to be noted in the long-range transportation plan. We got a lot of projects on it, I would encourage you to go online and take a look at it.
Review upcoming meetings. commissioner meeting is Wednesday at noon. Department committee updates, do we have anything?
I think Brian just provided us with one.
Just the department, yeah. Do we have anybody coming to the meeting this time?
Bill.
Phil's gonna come and talk a little bit about taxes? Okay. Good. And then I got a couple proclamations. Transportation agreement. And with the school district for recycling program. And then we're gonna ratify 2 contracts. 3 contracts. Did that go before the judge, or does it not have any
No.
impact? Okay, I was curious about that, because I know she had said something to me about it a long, long time ago.
Yeah, the commissioners sign it, and then it'll go off to the union for signature.
Okay.
Judges don't, you're talking about the union contract?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious. She's like, well, I haven't even seen it to review it. And I was like,
They don't get to review it.
okay.
To back up just a bit, the agreement with the school district for the recycling program, we use Youngsville High School parking lot for the electronics household hazard.
Oh, this is the electronics?
Yeah, and so we put an agreement in place with them. There are gonna be 2 hosted this year. The city of Warren wants to host one of them, so we're letting them take that and run with it. It's gonna be at, I think, Betts Park.
Oh, good.
And then we'll do the second one, I think, July the 10th, out at Youngsville High School.
So it's free to us.
We've always had an agreement in place with the high school, they've not
Just
charged us to
the
use the
last-
facility.
right.
Our obligation, though, is to provide electricity, which we do in the way of a generator, and then access for the crew to get into the school to use the restroom facility.
Oh, okay.
And that's pretty much it.
Okay. And then somebody comes and you pay to get rid of your junk or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, it's,
Okay.
because it costs them to, I guess, take the stuff apart and recycle what can, which has to be a monumental task. Remember with our previous provider, Jeff and I had an opportunity to tour their facility, and oh my God, I couldn't believe how much electronic stuff they have in there to dismantle.
Where was that at?
Down near Cockerton in
Oh, okay.
Crawford County.
Okay.
This company here comes out of Pittsburgh area.
Okay.
Most of the counties now are using that same, Noble Environmental is the name of the company.
And don't they like people to make like a reservation?
Yeah, they want
What you-
reservations, that way they're not getting flooded with everybody at one time. They can schedule folks coming in so that it kind of spreads it out a little bit.
Moving on, general discussions.
In here.
Dan, do you have anything?
I don't know anything, Ken.
Is there any need to run an executive session?
I have something for 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that different than tomorrow's that we have on the calendar?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions, sir? Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Josh.
Make sure you find your glasses.